I tried to play old virtual world games that we used to all love as kids. These were once thriving worlds with millions of people logging in every day, but now most of them are abandoned, shut down even. You guys asked me to go back, so I did. I want to know, are there still people out there and are these games still worth playing? To answer that, I played through 8 virtual world games and rated them on 3 different factors: content, community, and customization, to find out which one is truly the best virtual world game that is still holding up today. So without further ado, let's jump into our first game, Poptropica. Now, I used to think that Poptropica was the greatest game ever made, not because it was the only game I could play in my elementary school computer lab, but because it made me feel like an explorer. Like every island was a brand new world waiting to be discovered. Unfortunately, Poptropica.com doesn't exist anymore. The website shut down in 2023 and today it lives on coolmathgames.com. I picked a lightning samurai looking dude and jumped into the world. Immediately, I noticed a lot of the classic islands were gone. A quick Google search told me why. Islands like Big Nate were lost to the death of Flash, which is tragic because in a way it's like watching our childhood become lost media. Thankfully, one familiar name stood out: Mythology Island. This island was the reason why I love Greek mythology so much. While other kids were reading Percy Jackson, I was learning about Zeus and Hades from Poptropica. So I loaded in and the first thing I was asked to do, steal the apple of immortality. And like any good hero, I stole it. Zeus descended from the heavens and offered me immortality if I retrieved 5 sacred items. And so my journey began. Through a labyrinth to grab the Minotaur's ring, solving ancient plumbing to obtain a flower from the Sphinx, playing a flute to lull the Cerberus into giving me its whiskers, diving into the sea for a pearl, and finally fighting a Hydra to grab its scales. When I returned with the items, I was expecting the mission accomplished, but no. Zeus pulled a fast one and betrayed me. Turns out he wanted the items for himself so he could rule all of Poptropica, so I teamed up with Hades and Poseidon to face Zeus in the most epic showdown of all time. But hey, I won. I got my medallion and saved all of Poptropica. For an island I completed 15 years ago, it was still quite enjoyable to play through. I remembered it being a lot harder though, but maybe it's just because I'm grown up and know a lot more Greek mythology now. I'll give Poptropica a content rating of 4 out of 5. It's missing some of the old classic islands, but there are still a lot of new islands to play through. Now to celebrate, let's take a look at what character customization Poptropica offers. I visited the shop and the outfit choices were a bit limited, but I did find this pufferfish costume that I thought was funny, so I'll give customization a 3 out of 5. But now we gotta check out if this game was still alive, because the best part of Poptropica back then was going into party rooms and playing mini games with friends, but when I tried, error. Every single minigame failed to load. It hit me then. Poptropica is no longer a virtual world. The world is still there, but the people, they're gone. So I have to give Poptropica a 0 for community, bringing our final score to a 7 out of 15. It's still a fun game to play, but without the people, it didn't feel like the same Poptropica that we grew up with. Now we're stepping into unfamiliar territory. Games I've never played before, but you guys grew up with, and I want to experience what you experienced, so requested by a few of you, this next one is Panfu. First released in 2007, Panfu was one of Europe's biggest virtual worlds where you can play as pandas, but like many virtual worlds, it quietly shut down in 2016. But thanks to the passion of old players, it's been brought back from the dead by private servers. I logged in, completed the tutorial, and wasn't expecting much, but yo, there's actually people here.
Huh? Hello? What are you gonna snow?
What? What does this guy mean? I was confused, but apparently snow means steal in Swedish, so I said,
Give me your money then.
Without hesitation, this panda named Emo Boy asked me to come with him where he led me deep underground. Was this karma for trying to rob him?
Change your size.
Holy moly, I'm bigger now.
I'm small now.
A nice size.
This game was so random and I loved it. After a strange science experiment, I decided to explore Panfu's contents, minigames, trivia, quests, and this is when the surfer panda asked me to find someone named Penny in the library. I looked quite literally everywhere for the library, including some places that made some weird noises. I just couldn't find it, so I returned to the only person I could rely on, Emo Boy.
Fellas, where can I find a library around here? Good, my time's come. Are you looking for the library? You'll find it in the ice cream parlor.
It seemed like he was waiting years to say that line, but he got me there and I leveled up. We celebrated the only way that made sense. Later on, I got pulled into a quest involving an octopus who was looking for a panda who stole his treasure. Turns out the panda was hiding out in the jungle, but he asked me to fetch him a plate of chicken before he would speak. So I did, but then he told me to wait a day for his strength to recover. While I waited on top of a volcano for the sun to rise, I met two players, Sephi and Amy. They told me this volcano was their favorite place in Panfu because it reminded them of their childhood. But now, not many people come here anymore. We talked about old games, old memories, and how even after being revived by the community, games like Panfu start dying again. But maybe that's what makes them special. Knowing they won't last forever reminds us to appreciate every moment we still do have. There's still time to explore, to laugh, and to make new memories before these worlds fade again. If there's a game that you used to love that's no longer around, share in the comments. Maybe there's someone else out there trying to remember too. And if you enjoy seeing these lost worlds come back to life, consider subscribing so we can explore more together. And so as the sun rose, I was excited to continue my quest.
Oh, nice. Is the sun coming up soon?
We don't like the sun.
I need the sun for my quest. You turned me into a frog.
They asked if I knew how to glitch out the map, and then we just walked into the sky.
Zooey mama.
Sephi invited us to her tree house, and there was this slide that landed perfectly on a chair.
Oh, I didn't realize you land in a seat. Put a cactus there.
You know, for a game with not many players, these people were really making me feel at home. I can't give it a perfect 5-star because there were only about 10 of us online, but the people I met are carrying the community rating, so I'll give it a 3-star. They also told me that Panfu had a large amount of customization, so I opened up the catalog and man, there were over 100 pages of costumes and outfits to choose from. You already know I had to scoop myself up an ice cream outfit because if you couldn't already tell, my avatar is a strawberry ice cream man. So as for customization, I'll give Panfu a 5. Before I left, Amy said,
I always like to show room 69 to new players.
What was this secret, slightly cursed sounding room? They told me the command to teleport there, and inside this room was...
Oh my god, bro. Oh, hell no.
The Lorax?
I speak for the truth. They showed me a bunch of other secret hidden rooms you can only get to via a command. It was fun exploring the little Easter eggs hidden around the world, so as for content, I'm giving Panfu a 5 out of 5. The minigames were fun, the quest got me deep into the Panfu lore, and the hidden rooms were the icing on the cake. That leaves Panfu with a final rating of 13 out of 15. They may not have a huge player base anymore, but the ones still here, they make the world feel magical in the best kind of way. But now, let's see what kind of magic Wizard 101 still has in store. Released in 2008, Wizard 101 was one of the most beloved kid-friendly MMOs of its time with spellcasting, cards, and a community that makes you feel like you're in Hogwarts. I created my wizard, Wolf Summer Guardian, and the tutorial kicked me off with Headmaster Ambrose teaching me the magical ways of wizardry until Malistaire, the dark, dramatic villain, showed up. I had to defeat his goons, and I won't lie, the spellcasting animations were amazing. Ninja pigs, what the heck? Could this game be peak? After my training, I was dropped into the world of Wizard City.
Howdy. Hello?
Despite all the players around me, they seemed to be a bit busy. Since Wizard 101 was an MMORPG, I decided to invite my friends to join the chaos, and one of them was Kevin! Kevin Umbrasbar, what's up?
Oh my god!
While waiting for our third friend to log on, we met James Giant Stalker. James! Flex. James did not seem pleased with us, so he summoned a giant bird and ascended away, but it didn't matter because someone else arrived.
Digby!
He just birthed me?
Digby!
I guess I'll let you talk to me, worm.
Oh yeah.
Are we really letting this non-death person into our group?
Bro, I'm the healer, bro. Without me.
Yeah.
I'm literally flexing my muscles right now. Look at that.
You are built like a twig.
We went questing, spell fling, monster bashing, and then suddenly Digby turned into a... After fighting our way through different side quests, we all officially enrolled in wizard school. On top of that, we all got pets. See my pet, miss?
Ew!
I really don't think you can be saying anything with how you look right now.
I'm beautiful.
Yes, Kevin turned into a goblin for some reason. Walking through wizard school, everyone was so dripped out. Everyone except for us. So we decided to visit the shops, and there weren't a huge selection of cosmetics to choose from since it's all gear based that affect your wizardly stats. All the cool mounts and gear people were flexing on us with required real life money, so customization gets a 3 out of 5. There were really cool cosmetics to choose from if you could afford it. Talking about things we couldn't afford, we met this guy Terrell who was protesting in the common area.
Why do they make us pay for membership for the beginner world? They force you to pay to continue playing their game. What matters is having fun, not paying for a membership to have fun. I will just not pay in protest.
Shut your ugly ass before I come there and shut your ass up.
So violent.
In a sense, Terrell was right. Don't get me wrong. Wizard 101 seems like an amazing game with a lot of content, but here's the thing. After a few areas, the free-to-play experience kinda ends. What do you guys rate on a scale of 1 to 5 the customization of this game?
I think I'd give it a
0.
solid 4.
It's like pay to win customization though. Yeah, like our drip is so bad, bro.
I think I'd give it a 3 because it's a very paid, but like
Out of
it
5
looks
or
good.
10?
Content.
I mean,
I think
ever
I'd
since
give
we
it a
1.
I think I'd give it a 2.
2.
Yeah.
I think I might give it like a 4. You need memberships or crowns to unlock the entire game, so for content, I'm giving Wizard 101 a middle ground of 4 out of 5. 3 for free-to-play players, and 5 if you did want to pay to unlock all of the content. But despite the paywalls, Wizard 101 is still very active. It's not as active as its prime, but at the time of playing, there were about 500 people online. Even after all these years, it's still alive and thriving, so we all collectively agreed that it deserved a 5 for community, bringing the final score to a 12 out of 15. But now let's head across the spiral to see if the Wizards' swashbuckling cousins can live up to the same legacy, the Pirates of Pirate 101. Launched in 2012 by the same team behind Wizard 101, this game was another beloved kid-friendly MMORPG with a different combat style and story. Sadly, despite its super creative combat system, Pirate 101 wasn't able to replicate the same level of success as Wizard 101, and so the updates started to slow and the players started to leave. But I never played as kids, so today I wanted to see what it was like. I created my character, Lazy Victor Vane. I picked my flag, my pirate origin story, and boom, I was thrown into a capsizing ship where I met my first companion, Subadai. Together, we fled to Skull Island, the central hub of the pirate world, where we met Captain Avery, a man who offered to give us our very own pirate ship, but first, we needed to help him recover a jade amulet that was stolen by his ex-crewmate Finn. On our journey, we recruited another crewmate, Bonnie Ann, and together we were able to track Finn down and kick his butt. Defeating Finn and returning the amulet, there was one thing on my mind. Where were all the players? Well, it turns out they were all chilling in the town, and it was like I was hit with deja vu because everyone here was flexing their mounts again, just like in Wizard 101.
Braum. Victor.
Oh, I forgot my name was Victor. At first I was kind of confused, like who's Victor, but then I realized I'm Victor. We just kind of chatted, and I feel like there were a lot more people here just having a casual conversation compared to Wizard 101, but I have to give community rating a 4 out of 5 because despite people talking more, there were a lot less players online, 30 people to be exact at the time of recording. As for customization, it was very similar in the aspect that a lot of the items required real life money to acquire, so I'll give it the same rating of 3 out of 5. But lastly, let's talk about content. I would not lie, I like Pirate 101's story and grid-based combat more. Maybe because one of my favorite shows is One Piece and everywhere I go I see it.
Bring that One Piece back to me and the rest of Guns.
The One Piece? But unfortunately, I did hit a paywall where I needed to spend money to continue the rest of the story. So for content, I'm giving it the same 4 out of 5, bringing the final score to a 11 out of 15. Pirate 101 might not be as popular as its Wizard sibling, but I still found it quite enjoyable to play through. After sailing the 7 seas, I decided to check into a place that's a little less about quests and fighting but more about socializing. It's Habbo Hotel. Launched in 2000, Habbo was one of the internet's first original virtual hangouts. At its peak, it had millions of monthly users, but in 2012, everything changed. The game entered a period known as the Great Mute after it was accused of being unsafe for children. In response, many chat features were disabled, essentially killing the social aspect of the game and therefore a lot of its player base. Today, the game is still around. In fact, there's 2 versions, Origins and Habbo.com. I started with Origins to experience the original 2000 Habbo experience, and when I logged in, everyone was fishing.
Howdy.
I guess these fish weren't gonna catch themselves. I wandered into a quieter room where I met Kurzu and Ralos. Turns out Ralos been here since 2005. He told me to do my daily tasks to earn credits, mainly to buy some furniture. It didn't seem like there were a lot of clothing options in the shop, but there were most certainly a lot of items for interior decoration. So for customization, I'm giving Habbo a 3. I decided to check out some games Habbo had to offer, and one was called Battle Ball. However, I sat alone in my own lobby waiting forever until the game kicked me out. But just when I was about to leave, someone joined.
Hello.
Hi.
Wanna play?
Sure.
Oh, let's go get someone to play with us. I had no clue how to play, so I was just jumping around, and of course, she won.
Want to go play Wobble Squabble?
Oh, sure. Where is that? I made it.
You need to go get changed.
Got my Speedo on, I'm looking fabulous. I'm ready. I look so stupid swimming. You know, I really should have read the rules to these games, but I was just so excited to play games with someone. I ended up losing 3 times in a row, and Stope needed to go but told me to check out Habbo.com. She said there were a lot more people there, but it can get a bit too overwhelming, so I decided to check it out, and when I logged in, Kung Fu Panda! I felt like I had walked into a virtual Times Square, but you know, at least we know that the community rating should be a 5 with how many players there are still chatting it up. This place was active, too active even, so I wandered from room to room until I found a medieval roleplay lobby.
Ah, my lady, such a pleasure to cross paths again.
Everyone was wearing epic knight armor, but me, I was looking like a bum. So I checked the shop of Habbo.com and saw there were way more clothing options here. Probably enough to make me look like a cool medieval knight too, so I'm going to bump the customization rating up to a 5. But the real question was, how do I join these cool looking members of the Dark Dragon army? Could we go to war, lead raids, train dragons? To find out, I asked what were the requirements to join. And this night, Sir Fallen gave me the whole onboarding process. I was completely following along until he told me that I needed to join a Discord, log my training, and get paid. And I realized maybe I'm not ready to get this deep into the medieval roleplay stuff. I thanked him and decided to keep exploring. As for content, Habbo's not really a game in the traditional sense. It's more like a social sandbox. Most of the activities are community made, and while I had fun, the gameplay side of things felt a little light, so I'll give it a 3 for content, giving Habbo a final score of 13 out of 15. For a game that's more than 2 decades old, it's still got quite a thriving community of people. Whether you're a knight in training, a speedo fighting champion, or just someone trying to decorate a pixel perfect room, there's always a weird little corner of Habbo waiting for you. This next game I find to be quite outlandish because instead of playing as cute pandas or magical wizards, you play as an insect. That's right, up next we have Bin Weevils. Originally launched in 2003, Bin Weevils was a UK-based virtual world where you could garden, race, decorate your nest, and live out your weirdest bug life. But as time passed and support dwindled, it eventually shut down in 2021. Since then, it has been revived through fan servers. I created my Weevil, did the tutorial, and went out to find people to talk to, only to realize I couldn't. I can't talk. No. It looked like I needed to be level 10 to talk, so naturally I started flailing my arms around. I'm crying for help right now. And somehow, it worked.
It's sad not able to speak, lol. Have you played Bin Weevils before? Whoa.
Me?
Know this little diva. General chat is good if you need help.
It's funny that we can have a conversation with just head nods, spins, and dances. I guess if you think about it, this is probably how Weevils communicate in the wild. So for community, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. There were a decent amount of people online, and this was just one of many servers. On top of that, the people that were online were very eager to help, but I was determined to reach level 10 so I could continue to communicate with them. I tried gardening, racing, missioning, and even spent 30 minutes playing the smoothie game. I was working hard, man, making so many smoothies, and was expecting a fat generous boost in XP, but I only earned 11 XP. You are out of your mind. I played this for like 30 minutes out here making fishy jungle juice for 11 XP. This is crazy. While the games were fun, I just wish it was more rewarding, so I'll give content a 4 out of 5. I realized that gaining XP was going to be a lot harder than I thought, until my savior came.
Diva, have you put in recent codes? Okay, above the bin Weevil screen and there's a code section which has all the blog posts with codes.
Redeeming these codes from the blog gave you a lot of mulch, which was the currency of this game, and with mulch I discovered this secret meta, XP from buying shop items. Why play games when you can buy XP? I pulled out the mathematician in me and started calculating the XP per mulch ratio of different items until I found one that gave me 0.2 XP per mulch. I only had to buy a few and instantly hit level 10. With my brand new ability to speak, I decided to chat up this fellow Weevil, but Bin Weevils is another game where most of the customization comes in the form of furniture rather than clothing, so I'll give customization a 3, giving it a final rating of 11 out of 15. Bin Weevil may be obscure and a little grindy, but I think my heart opened up to these little Weevil creatures. Back in the day, Disney invested in a lot of virtual world games such as Club Penguin and Toontown, but one that seems to have been lost to time was Pixie Hollow. Created in 2008, Pixie Hollow lets you become a fairy and chat it up with your friends in a magical forest environment, but in 2013, Disney shut it down, leaving many fans heartbroken. Thankfully, some dedicated fairies revived it through fan servers, though these days, it's a much quieter forest. I flew into the meadow as Cedar Maple Lake. Hello? Anyone here? Hello? Dang, there's actually like nobody here. Immediately, I was surrounded by emptiness. I opened my to-do list and one of my first goals was to make a Pixie Pal, but as you can see, there's no one around. I decided to play some mini games while I waited for others to show up. One I played required me to transport bubblefish and the other made me paint butterflies, and this is when I realized there were only 2 total mini games. That's it. So for content, I have to give it a 2. As for customization, there were shops around here where you could personalize your fairy using foraged goods as currency, but it's nothing wild and most likely a fraction of what was available in its prime. So I'm giving customization a 2 out of 5. I really want to enjoy this game, especially since so many of you asked me to check it out, and I'm sure back in the day this place meant everything to a lot of people, but these days, it's quiet, abandoned. I was just about to log off and move on to the next game, but then whoa, a person! Melody. It was a bit awkward to maintain conversation because she was going around collecting items, but it turns out she just joined too. She came back to revisit this old world that she used to love. She revealed that this was just a fraction of what the old game used to be like. There used to be more rooms, more fairies, more life. Now, it's just the 2 of us. I know the people who remade this game are working hard to add new features, so I'm excited to see the progress, but for now, I accomplished my mission of making a Pixie Pal. Melody logged off, and just like that, I was alone, and the forest felt quiet again. So for community, I have to give it a 1 out of 5, giving Pixie Hollow a final score of 5 out of 15. Pixie Hollow today is a shell of what it once was, but there's still something beautiful about it, like wandering through an old neighborhood you used to grow up in. Quiet, maybe a little empty, but still full of memories. And if you're lucky, you might find someone else out there, still remembering too. Our final stop is one of the oldest virtual worlds that is still standing today, Gaia Online. Launched in 2003, Gaia started as an anime themed forum and slowly evolved into a massive online hangout with games, chat rooms, and avatar customization. At its peak, it had millions of users, but today, it said that there were 3,000 people online, so I wasn't sure what I was walking into. I went to make my account, typed in my email, and the craziest thing happened. This email is already in use. So I've never played this game before, at least I don't think I did, but I don't know if someone used my email or something to create an account a long time ago, or maybe I did play this game and just completely forgot about it, so I don't know, we'll just have to find out. To solve this mystery, I clicked forgot password and was sent the login for the account. There it was, an account belonging to someone named Dark Eye Devil, and that someone was me. Have I played this before? How I knew was because when I was a child, I used to use this exact fake birth date to register accounts on websites I wasn't old enough to register on. November 5th, 1993. This account was 4,931 days old. That was 13 years ago. I was 10 years old. I had zero memory of this, no friends, no money, no gear, so I must have created this account and forgot about it. I logged into the world called Alpha and there were only 2 people in this entire server.
Hello?
No responses. Were they NPCs, AFK, ghosts? I wandered around through the empty world, empty streets, and signs that read, "The residents have moved on." It said that there were 3,000 people online, so where were they? So I decided to do a little digging, and that's when I discovered the chat history where one of the 2 people I saw earlier, Y, had left a message saying, "Be back in an hour." This could be my only chance to chat with someone in this game, so I waited.
Hello.
I've been waiting for you.
Bahaha, I know it. I was on lunch break.
We started chatting and I asked him why he sits in this empty world all day, and he told me,
Waiting for stragglers to join and chat. Friends and I have been joining daily trying to fuel a town's resurgence.
aww. And it reminded me of something someone said back in Panfu, that even after revival, these games start dying again. So I decided I wanted to throw a party, get a few friends together to spark some life for a forgotten town. Before I left, Y told me to try playing some pinball because it was a great way to earn platinum, which was the currency of this game. He must have seen the janky clothes I was wearing, so I played and it was kind of addicting. I racked up 15,000 platinum and tried some other games, but it wasn't as fun. Pinball was the only one that really hit with me. So I'm giving content a 2 out of 5. Now armed with platinum, I hit the shops and holy customization. This game has one of the most insane cosmetic catalogs I've ever seen. It was like walking into a digital thrift store run by a bunch of anime fans. I was legit overwhelmed with the amount of customization, so I ended up only getting this dumb emoji face. Customization gets a 5 from me. I returned to Y, now joined by another player named Lolly. They told me to visit a place called Rally if I want to meet some other people, and so I did, and immediately it was a lot more alive than the town we were in.
Hi, Devil.
Hi, Fent.
Name's Yoshi. Howdy!
It was quite funny seeing a super hyper cat person scurrying around everywhere. I found it hard to believe that there were 3,000 people online, but it turns out that most Gaia players aren't in the world, they're in the forums. I guess these days Gaia has evolved into something between a Reddit and a dress-up game with less players hanging out in the world. So for community, I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5, giving it a final score of 10 out of 15. There you have it, 8 virtual world games that once meant so much to so many people. Although I didn't personally grow up with most of these games, I know a lot of people did, and I still want to do something special for those people that did show me around what it was like to live in these worlds back then. So I gathered the few friends that I had and threw a party. It wasn't much, but here it is.
Look at this snow guy.
Yo, is this tough, bro?
That's tough.
Oh yeah. Wait, how do I club penguin dance? Whoa! Could this be Michael Jackson? Oh, he's back to normal.
There we go.
Oh, wait, who is in sync with me?
Oh my gosh, yes.
3, 2, 1. Yeah.
Okay, we're slightly out of sync, but it's fine. It makes for like it's like satisfying.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they're shooting
So
bombs.
wholesome. This is so wholesome.
Thank you. I'm still going.
Who's Kyra Thunderdrop?
Wait, this could be Tizo.
Holy crap, there's so many people. Is this all of us? Is that Tiso, Dusty, Littlefoot? I think we're the only people online except for Kyra. But Kyra left us.
Kyra's
Yeah, Kyra's gone.
Kyra joined this game thinking no one else is gonna be online. She's getting hunted down by 5 other people.
Kyra got intimidated, bro.
Hey guys.
Is that this?
Steve, what do I walk like that? Look at my fit, bro. I'm telling you, I got that Dracula on.
Yo, what? What?
Why? Literally. Yo, what? He's lucky.
Oh my gosh, dude. He's low-key hitting it, bro.
Wait, this guy's awesome.
Why did y'all have to wake up? Why's Deem inside?
I didn't know what to expect when I started this journey. I thought I'd just hop into a few old games, play some mini games, and document my findings, but what I found was something deeper. I found empty worlds once filled with millions, places that used to mean everything to someone, and even now, they still do. Whether it was a pirate holding on to their treasure, a knight guarding its castle, or a weevil frantically waving for a friend, these players stayed, keeping these worlds alive. I know it's not much, but I'm hoping our little party can keep the world lively, even if it's just for a little bit. So if you made it this far in the video and wanted to check out some of these games, I've linked all of them in the description. Log in, say hi, you might just make someone's day. As always, thanks for watching all the way to the end, and check out my other videos if you want. Also, if you want to support me in making more videos like this, I launched a Patreon, and if not, no worries. You can always support me by saying hi in the comments. I'll be around. See ya!